You're the one who should have this.
I know that we have history, but it is history.
We could try starting fresh. New neighbors.
First of all, I want to know, how does it feel to work in the Chicago family?
It's amazing. I mean, the Chicago family literally is a family. It's a universe within itself, and it's such a welcoming place to be brought into, and it feels really great to be a part of.
You play Dr. Hannah Hasher, and
Yeah.
she's a very complex character. What did you think when you first read about her, and how did you create her?
Ooh, when I first read the character description for Hannah, I was extremely intrigued. I think I was wondering how a top surgeon and doctor could also be a functioning heroin addict. I was very confused about it. So a lot of research went into breaking down the stereotypes and the stigmas that I maybe created in my mind for what this looks like. I was very intrigued, and I was excited to learn and excited to be able to take on the challenge of playing her, because it's a very unique one.
So, as you said, she's an addict, now a recovering addict. Where did you find the inspiration to portray that journey of her?
I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of different people. I have some people in my life that either are still within the hardest parts of being an addict, as well as in recovery. And I did a lot of research. I researched out a lot of different documentaries to see which one would be most helpful and most informative, as opposed to just dramatic. A lot of things are there just for the shock value. So kind of weeding through where I could get real information, as well as talking to people that are in recovery, people, healthcare providers that deal with recovery as well, just so that I can try and get different aspects. And then you also need to look into yourself and see what part of yourselves could possibly fall into these categories. And I felt like that was also one of the most helpful parts, because you could have all the knowledge in the world and watch all the things you want to, but until you can internalize it and find parts of yourselves to maybe accentuate, you can never really get there until you include yourself in the mix.
I have to ask, do you think that is really over between her and Will?
Oh, I think that the relationship that they had, the version of the relationship that they had, is over, but it doesn't mean that there can't be a new relationship, and we just don't know yet. Is it going to be romantic or friendship? So, but I definitely know that whatever is in the past, they are working both very hard, and they come across different opportunities to talk about it, but they are overcoming what their history was, and it's taking a little bit.
And what do you prefer? To be friends with Will, or to be involved in some romantic way?
Here's the thing. I think that relationship had elements that were just so lovely, and elements that also just terrified our audience. And I don't want our audience to be upset all the time. But that being said, I absolutely adore working with Nick Galfus, who plays Will. And since I came onto this series as him being my partner in crime, I personally always fight for them, because I just love working with Nick so much. So I just hope that, whatever happens in the future, it just means that they're partners in crime still, even if it's not romantic.
So I have to take down the list, Dr. Archer? Or...
Right? Oh, man. Well, Dr. Archer, I mean, that's a fascinating relationship within itself. And once again, there's so many choices of where we can go with things, and things are constantly unraveling. But I think that their relationship is really special because it's intimate within a platonic way, at least for now. And Hannah Asher is somebody that Archer is actually trusting, and she's chipping away at his armor by just being herself, not even meaning to chip away at it. But they really find a trust and a friendship within each other. And I think that it's really fascinating. So we'll see what that develops into and grows, but they are definitely, they work together a lot, let's just say.
Do you think it's weird because of the age difference, or what do you think about that?
Well, that's definitely something that we've addressed and talked about when we talk about the relationship with them. I think that if it does ever morph into a romantic relationship, that it will be done with a lot of thoughtfulness, as opposed to this lust-filled relationship that maybe you see on TV portrayed in different ways. Both Steven Weber and I, who plays Archer, had conversations with our writers and showrunners, you know, just trying to be thoughtful about if this ever does go in that direction. It really needs to come from a place of vulnerability and a relationship that's been earned, as opposed to just throwing the younger girl with the older guy and seeing what happens. The relationship is so much more than that. And I think that if they ever do get together, that the age will kind of dissolve for our viewers, because it's based on a relationship, not on this outside physical attraction.
So what's something
which I gotta say too, like, there's nothing with the physical attraction there. Like, Archer's a good looking man, even though he's much older than that.
Yep.
Put on the record there, not saying anything.
So for my last question, I want to ask you, because I know you're a songwriter too.
Yeah.
How does the music gets involved in this process of being an actor?
Ooh, for me, depending on the character and the project, I have a playlist. You know, I like to know. I was thinking this the other day. I was like, ooh, Hannah definitely listens to the Civil Wars. She's definitely listening to the Civil Wars. So it's like I think about that every now and then. And sometimes if I'll get nervous before a scene, or like I know that I have a little playlist for when her and Will were together and they were breaking up, you know, I kind of created a relationship through a playlist with them so that I could listen to that as Jessy before going on stage, or if I just needed to ground in that kind of emotional memory. And I feel like music creates emotional memory. And so I definitely utilize that when I can. But I've been making a light playlist for Hannah. She's an interesting, eclectic person.
You're gonna have to share that with the audience.
Yes.
Cuando se abren las puertas de urgencias,
Vamos, vuelve.
ingresa la intriga, el drama
1, 2, 3.
y la emoción.
Aquí va.
La presión comienza a subir.
Ellos se entregan hasta el último latido en Chicago Med. Nuevos episodios, lunes a las 21, solo por Universal.